ho, I'm a tough boy. Treat me like one of your items. Honestly, guys, it's pretty surreal that it's Undertale's 5th anniversary. 5 years since the legendary Undertale came out. Where the flip did the time go? Seriously, Undertale is one of my favorite indie games and one of my favorite games of all time. And yeah, 5 years later, I'm still loving it. I'm still going back to it. I'm still playing the fan games. And yeah, it just amazes me that 5 years later, it's still going strong. But yeah, that's all. That thumbnail. Toby Fox will now talk more about the development status of Deltarune. So yeah, we're going to check that out and possibly other things, because this video, yeah, there's quite a lot of updates to be had. So we did a video a few days ago looking into the Deltarune update on Famitsu, I believe, something like that. And it showed a bunch of pictures, but the sad thing is that it was totally Japanese and we didn't really have a complete translation to do with what was said on that magazine and what was said to do with that scan. Still, we looked at the pictures, which I think is going to be had here. So yeah, that's real cool. So I'm just going to shut up and read the total English that I can totally understand here by Toby himself. Like I said, quite an update to be had here. A lot of things has been said by Toby here. I don't know what things, so that's why we're going to get into it. And also some other little things I may check out after we've read this up here. So get your popcorn, buckle the heck up. We're going to get into this thing here. Introduction, Deltarune Status Update, September 2020. Hi everyone, if you're reading this, you must have been sticking around for about 5 years. I want to express my gratitude for everyone that has supported and encouraged me over this time. Thank you. I said it many times before, but I didn't expect the simple game I made to receive so much attention. Because of that, many interesting things have happened, and now I can even spend my time making another game. You deserve it, man. Undertale, yet again, a fantastic, special experience that was never had anywhere else. Sure, similar themes or in similar things, but as a whole, Undertale is something just we've never seen before. So absolutely crazy stuff, and still to this day there's been inspired stuff by Undertale, but they're not quite Undertale, are they? So again, Toby, let me just give you a clap, man. Like, it seems both of us received a lot of happiness from this occurrence. If it's okay, I would like to keep striving to do things that make both of us happy. Oh, you're allowed to keep making me smile, my friend. Alright, so yet again, we have the images here, and we kind of discussed them in our last video. I'll still link that in the description down below, because I'm going to leave most of my theories and speculation on these images in that video. So I highly advise you guys to still check that out. Link's description card somewhere on screen. But maybe I'll still briefly go over, seeing as we will now have the English translation here. Everyone treated the enemy with tender, loving care. All the enemies felt great. I already said it, but most likely this is them doing a pacifist. They are in the nurse get up here. Like I said, it could be a cosmetic thing, or even could be a story thing. And a lot of you guys said some really good theories that I kind of completely forgot about, and it's to do with the fact that we could be entering Noelle's dad's like office, not office, a hospital place, and going in the closet there, because the first place we went into the school closet, and then we found out there's loads of chess pieces and stuff like that that made up that world. So yeah, this could be a medical themed place, because it's all about Noelle's dad, and we know from last year's like Deltarune update that Noelle may be more of a thing in Deltarune Chapter 2. She may even be playable. I don't know. If not, she probably will be more pronounced in the story of Chapter 2 here. So I think that could also be a possibility. That was some really good theories and speculation there. So yeah, a get up to do with cosmetics or story based, because they're going into the hospital, some kind of closet there, and entering the dark world through that. I don't know. And then we have the same city place here. I'm not quite sure how Kris ends up here. And what's really interesting is that the ending we got from Chapter 1, is that going to be the canon ending when the game fully comes out? Or is that ending, was that ending just a teaser in general to do with Deltarune? Who the heck knows? But if it's still the canon ending you get from Chapter 1, how does Kris go from that to going back to the Dark World? I have no idea. Maybe we'll read up about it here. Who knows? I will make another. I am making a game called Deltarune. It is the second game in the Undertale series. So yeah, He's classing it as the Undertale series now. This is the Undertale series of games. We had, of course, Undertale, and now we're having Deltarune, which isn't a prequel, which isn't a sequel, but it's kind of like an AU of Undertale in a weird way. Like the name is, it's like an anagram, right? Like, we still have the characters and stuff, but everything's all placed differently and things like that, so that's super neat. This game will be released in many chapters, the first of which I released 2 years ago on Halloween. Since that time, I've been working hard to figure out the rest of the game. Dang, already 2 years! That's the wild part. I feel like we need to revisit it, and maybe even Undertale. Let me know your guys' thoughts in the comment section down below. We could do an Undertale revisited and a Deltarune Chapter 1 revisited. Please let me know that, maybe a live stream or in video form, because I would honestly be up for revisiting both of those games completely. No sweat on my back. However, it's a game that's much harder to make than Undertale. Graphics are more complicated and several times more involved. Systems are more complicated. Exposes the weak points of my creative and artistic ability. Plot is much harder to tie together. More characters, more important locations. Significantly more content than Undertale in one playthrough, especially cutscenes. Yeah, we kind of figured that out even just from Deltarune Chapter 1. So many cutscenes, so many more like character interactions. Sure, we didn't have that many characters compared to the whole Undertale package in Undertale, but just from Chapter 1 alone, yeah, what is the other chapters going to be like with new characters and new locations? It's just going to get crazier, guys. So, yeah, we can already see from Deltarune Chapter 1 that Toby is, you know, making complete sense here. I have only made one game ever. It's pretty insane that he made only one game ever, and that only one game he ever made is what it is today. Unlike Undertale, this is the type of game that would normally have many designers working on each aspect of the game. A story writer, a composer, an audio director, a map designer, a battle designer, a minigame designer, and an overall director. Instead, all of those roles end up handled by me. The good news is that a few months ago, I completed a significant milestone regarding the game's design. I completed readable outlines for every chapter in the game, including first-pass dialogue for almost all the cutscenes, examples of the music, etc. Whoa, okay. He's already outlined all of the chapters. We don't know how many chapters there are, by the way. For some reason, I heard a lingering bit of speculation on there being 5. I don't know if that's true or not. I have no idea. Although certain details are still hazy, the flow of the game and all major events and battles that take place are now clear. In summary, I largely spent the past 2 years writing, composing, designing, and drawing. However, that's not the whole story. We had actually attempted to develop the game since the time too. Development started around March 2019, and a 99% work was spent on investigating engines alternate to Game Maker, which I used for Chapter 1. Is he going to be changing the game engine? Without getting into the details, I decided a few months ago to go back to Game Maker after all. It still felt like the best fit for the project, so using Chapter 1 as a base, we started creating Chapter 2 since May 2020. What? Okay, that isn't that long ago, and from when Chapter 1 released, we really thought Chapter 2 was actually being programmed pretty much a little bit after the release of Chapter 1, you know, when the heck did it come out? We thought of like near the end of 2018, the beginning of 2019, programming was had on Chapter 2, but that was not the case. As Toby has said here, he was doing all the other things, so he's putting programming aside to figure out, you know, the rest of the story and what the characters would say and the music and stuff like that. So, of course, a lot of work has been had during those years, but not really the programming side, so only starting in May in terms of that. Okay, a lot of progress has been made since that time. I believe we can complete this chapter, content-wise, before the end of the year? Not accounting for translation, bug testing, and porting. Oh, that's really cool, but you guys need to remember that I don't think Toby is going to be releasing this game chapterly, which is kind of a shame, but at the same time, he is going to release it all in one package. I believe I heard that somewhere, so I feel very confident, and the strange thing is, even though we ended up using the original engine, I don't regret the lost time. either. Not only was I still busy designing the game, but during that long period, I was able to think of many ideas that make the game's story and characters better. I'm glad that I'm making the Deltarune that I have now, and that we are making healthy progress. Wow, so Toby's happy with the development so far. You know, he did a lot of trial and error, it seems, from reading this and, you know, thinking about changing engines and whatnot, but then he ended up going back to Game Maker. I'm happy that Toby is happy, basically. Whatever he wants to do on this is whatever he wants to do on this, you know? He made Undertale, and he can make Deltarune, okay? I'm confident in whatever this dude wants to put out and how he wants to put this out. I have faith, man. Complete faith. Chapter 1. Even Chapter 1 of Deltarune was absolutely amazing. So, again, faith all around, absolute faith. So, we've got translations of this picture here. We didn't have a translation of this picture here before. Ho ho ho, I'm a tough boy. Treat me like one of your items. Okay, so I was speculating in that last video we did of the Deltarune update from Famitsu that it's potentially Lancer coming back. Or, like you guys were saying, that he's just there because he's just there. I don't know. I mean, he's in our little item menu thing. We got a cell phone, which I believe we didn't actually use in the first chapter. Sans did give us his number, or was talking about giving us his number, I think. So yeah, this must be a chapter 2 thing, because I'm pretty sure we never had a cell phone in the first chapter. So it could be that Lancer's completely back. Maybe he's took time off from the throne, or he's just there because, again, he's just there. It says we can call him or do something with him. I'm not entirely sure. Let me know your guys' thoughts in the comment section down below. We have the picture of Ralsei here with his hood off. As we see him at the end of Chapter 1, we saw that picture yet again, as we have seen the previous pictures here, and most likely the upcoming pictures from the Famitsu. So nothing incredibly new here. Again, if you guys want to hear my complete thoughts on them, check out that last video. But yeah, we're going to continue on here, as there's so much more to read. A real meaty update is had here. Deltarune Status Estimate. Since there's a lot to read, I'll try to put the status of the game in numbered estimates. Hope he wasn't kidding. There is a lot to read here. When I initially read it, it took a lot of the video up, and I don't want this video to be too long, so I'm going to get rid of all that fluff, and I'm just going to give you a very quick overview of what's being had here. Essentially, Toby does say that it feels about like 80% to him, and it is quite rough at the moment, and polishing ends up taking a lot of time, so the actual time value may be around 50% done. So it's like 50 to 80% done, Chapter 2 technically, and you can see all the finer kind of details laid out here. And if you want to pause the video, that's completely fine, so you can read them up in more detail, but I'm not going to go over it because it takes too much time to read it all, and it's just too much fluff, and I just want this video to be shorter than it would initially be. It's already going on long enough. So he also outlines the progress of chapters 3 going forward, which is really interesting, and as we read before, he has outlined certain things to do with further chapters anyway, like the general story and what the characters will say and stuff. So yeah, because of that, the story and general game progression is already at 100%, and the cutscene dialogue and stuff is already at 95%, which is real wild. Including the map is already pretty much there, of it being at 70%. So that's really cool to know. And other stuff like the music and all that other stuff is actually quite high in the percentage range as well. So that's really cool to know here. But of course, the overall release readiness? What is that, Toby? Tell us more. Absolutely nothing. Future plans. Once you finish chapter 2, I would like to use it as the base to create future chapters from. After gaining experience from this chapter, I think making future chapters will be easier. Part of me wonders if we could make the game faster if we increased the size of the team and did something insane like create multiple chapters in parallel. That would be amazing, and that's something he should probably really do, especially if he has outlined the future chapters, has all the dialogue and, you know, written things for each character in the future chapters. That's something you should do and should really look into, like 100%, because that could be possible, and that would obviously really increase the development of this game. However, another part of me understands that adding more people doesn't guarantee that the game will be created faster if it's not done properly. I'm already just barely avoiding becoming a bottleneck on development, even with a team of this size, due to my physical limitations. To that end, I am interested in making a list of people that could potentially help me make the game. I'm not 100% sure if I'm going to ask anyone to help, but I think if I could just find one person that works well with me, it's worth asking. Chapter 2 is proceeding at a good pace, so if we do take anyone on, it will probably only be for Chapter 3 onward. So please understand that anything you send in may not have an immediate result. Holy heck. Okay, so he's asking the people, you. Okay, that fluff, that removal of said fluffiness, it's being had here yet again, guys, because I actually read through this and again, it took too much of the video. So essentially, as Toby just said, he's looking for people with the qualifications to potentially help him here with Deltarune. So if you're watching this video and you have those said qualifications, you know, the link is in the description down below. As always with all my videos, all the links are always in the description. So check this out and read this up. And yeah, and definitely consider maybe helping him out if, again, you have the qualifications here and all that stuff. He goes on about his wrist, and he's had these like real bad problems with it for so and so amount of time, and he's actually not been able to go on his computer as much and, you know, use his mouse, use his keyboard. Like, it's that bad. It is that, and it's absolutely insane. But yeah, as well as him going on about that, he goes on about the whole needing people to help him out with Deltarune here. There's one thing I could potentially do though. Becoming his wrist full time. I'm flexible, I don't hurt, and I have a musical sense. Okay, probably not really a very good musical sense, but at least I'm flexible, and I don't hurt. 2 out of 3 ain't bad, right? Alright guys, so before we end the video off here, I'm just going to quickly show you guys the front page of the Undertale website. It has been updated slightly with a few other things. So we have now the 5th anniversary concert stream that's going to be happening at 7 PM today, I believe. Of course, the Deltarune Status update, we just read all of that and it was absolutely amazing. Thank you, Toby, for giving us insight on what's going on with Deltarune. Like, honestly, he doesn't even have to. Like, no developer really needs to tell you what's going on with their projects. Of course, it's healthy, I guess, for them in a sense, as well as the fans to actually finally know what's going on. But in reality, again, he doesn't even need to say anything, to be honest. So it was really nice of him to write such a meaty paragraph, and also the stuff at the end with the whole asking for work stuff as well. So yeah, and with him going on about especially like wrist problems and his disabilities currently going on, that was like even extra more awesome it was. So again, thanks Toby, that was amazing. So glad to hear what's going on with Deltarune Chapter 2 and stuff. Right, Undertale 5th anniversary alarm clock winter dialogue. Oh, I'm in. Oh, we got alarm clock 5th anniversary alarm clock winter dialogue. The dialogue on this page was originally intended to debut in the Undertale alarm clock, an app that would have served as the vehicle for various humorous monologues from the characters. Development on the app has halted due to various circumstances, including asking the app developer to help with the development of Deltarune. Oh dang, so rather than have the dialogue gather dust, I've taken an excerpt and rewritten it for the display here. As always, it's recommended that you don't read this dialogue until you complete Undertale. Oh, so we can actually... Oh, look at go, Mama! She's smiling. She's happy to see me. So we can actually see her dialogue. Oh, that's cool. Oh, that's cool. This could be a separate video, guys, because there's could be a lot of dialogue here. And again, this video has gone on long enough. So if you guys want to see that, let me know. I'd love to read what everyone else, every character has to say here. So I'm going to leave that for now. Undertale line stickers volume 2. Okay, these look real neat. Look at them. Look at them. Oh, go Mama. She's so cute. Alfie's looks cute there too. Yeah, even you, Undyne. I'm obviously going to have to get the volume 2 version of the Undertale stickers. And then we got new merch coming to Fangamer. I'm always getting the Undertale merch, as you can see. So yeah, I will eventually probably buy that all up. Anyway, guys, gonna get out of here again. Such a much longer video. I did not expect Toby to write all that much. And again, gonna thank him once more for just such a chunky paragraph and telling us so much more than I initially thought he would tell us to do with what's going on with Deltarune. So, like, a round of applause, Toby. Like, man, like, seriously, take your time. You know, don't fret, don't stress, because we know when this is done, whenever the heck it's gonna get done, it's gonna be just as good or even better than Undertale. Like, seriously, I do not doubt that 1 second. So yeah, very excited, and I will patiently wait for this masterpiece to come out. I will. So gonna get over, guys. Let me know what your thoughts in the comment section down below. Again, I may check out that Undertale clock thing in a separate video because that's gonna take absolutely ages. So yeah, I'm gonna get out of here. I'm also gonna take this off because I've been sweating like a muppet.